Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to do is take apart one of these ceiling fans. You find them a lot on garbage day. People are updating their house so they're throwing them out, or unfortunately they don't work at times. And the nice thing about these fans is they come in all different sizes and they have a lot of nice scrappable material. They are very easy to take apart and there is a really nice copper bearing motor inside. Copper right now being at an all-time high, it's a great find and a great score. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you where the goodies are, how to separate it easily and effectively, and most importantly, how to maximize your profit. So for the sake of this video, I do have a couple on the table here. The one I'm going to work with, I've already removed the fins. The fins really are the only thing that is going to the garbage, which is great. So I'm going to work on this one. It's a little bit bigger. Which is great, but it's still a ceiling fan. And before I get to the copper bearing motor, I do want to look at some other parts. The first one being the place where the lights come out of. The nice thing about these is if I take a magnet to it, it sticks. So don't be fooled because it's a gold look, it's going to be brass. It's not. You put a magnet to it. But there are always some really nice wires that go through it. And the wires, if you look at them, inside of it, there is only one coating. In Canada, this wire is classified as 60% copper recovery. So this, because it only has one coating of plastic around the wire, that is what we look at. There's 40% and 60% at a scrapyard. This being 60%. This wire goes right now for about $1.81 a pound Canadian. So that's an excellent price. And even though it doesn't look like there's a lot, there's some more in this here. What I do is I will bag it up. I will put it into, a big pile, and I will bring it all in with all my other appliance wire once I have enough of it. So that's definitely a great score. The other thing is if you look at the light fixtures itself, inside you do see a nice metallic look. There's always like a plastic handle. Here's one up close. I've already removed the plastic. But this outer shell is aluminum. Very easy to cut that out. That goes for about 40 cents a pound Canadian. Inside of it, there is a little bit of copper. There is a little bit of brass. You can see on the bolts there. So depending on how much time you have and how much of this material you want to separate, there is some copper in there, but I definitely will take the aluminum off of that, and I will pull the copper out of that. So that's definitely a good score as well. As well inside, you also see the handles that will turn on and off the lights. You do want to check those because sometimes they are brass. So I'm going to show you this one, for example. Here's your on and on switch. There is the handle with a really nice tassel. The tassel is not scrappable, unfortunately. However, this cord, this chain, as well, I've already unscrewed one of them. This is brass. Inside, you can see it looks like brass, but the real test is doing the scratch test. If I took a file and I scratched it, as you can see, it reveals a nice shiny brass look. So these are brass. They don't weigh a lot, but I put them into a bag and they add up. Right now, brass is going for about $2.90 Canadian, which is great. As well, as I said, this cord, sometimes it is steel, so you want to check. I've already done the scratch test, but I'll do it again for this video. And as you can see, there too is a nice shiny brass, so definitely want to put this into my brass pile. The outer shell that came off of this, again, put a magnet to it. It does stick. This is going to go into my tin pile, tin and shred. And the nice thing about tin and shred right now and steel, they too are great prices. Currently, it's about 10 cents a pound Canadian. So, steel is one of those items that it doesn't take a lot of it to add up in weight and definitely give you a good price. So here is some more steel. As well, as I said, the rest of this, once I get the wire out, is also going to go into my steel pile. Now what I have left is the core. And there is a little bit of bolts that I need to take off. A lot of them I've already taken off, but things like these nice big nuts, I will keep these, there's nothing wrong with it. I will put them into a bucket. I will use them again. Here's a piece of steel that I just need to quickly just unscrew off. This too is going to go into my steel pile. And here I have my frame. There is a little bit of dirty cast in here. It's very difficult to get out because there is a lot of magnetic mesh in there that you have to hit out with a hammer. So either you do have two options. I could throw this into my dirty cast pile, which I think I may do given the fact that this is all dirty cast. Or if it isn't dirty cast, for the other option is just to throw this into your steel pile. So it is heavy. This is about 3.5 pounds, which is great. But that's an option. And given looking at this, I don't think there is a lot of cast aluminum on this one. So I'm just going to actually throw this into my steel pile. Some models are different than others, so you do want to check. What is revealed now, as you can see, the moneymaker right there is a beautiful copper bearing motor with a lot of different copper coils. And before I tackle this though, you always want to make sure that you do the scratch test. So I'm just going to scratch the one with my file there. As you can see, that is copper. If I scratched it and it gave me a metallic look, it would be aluminum. And if it was aluminum, I would actually just take this as is and throw it into my motor piles, which is about 15 cents Canadian. And I do want to address one fact. One of my subscribers, I appreciate all of the comments and suggestions and likes and things that I get from people. But one of my American friends said that on a different video that I had on a ceiling or on a stand-up fan, I had Bear Bright #1 and #2 copper in that motor. And it may depend on country and region. However, in Canada here, we only get for all copper bearing motors #2 price. What they look at here in Canada is the thickness of the copper wire. If the copper wire is thicker than 16 gauge, which is the thickness of the lead of a pencil, then it could be classified as #1 as #1 or Bear Bright, depending on how nice it is and how clean it is. Any type of motors like this will be classified as #2. It is very thin strand. However, don't be discouraged because right now in Canada, I just brought in 117 pounds of my motor copper. I got #2 price and I was paid $4.50 Canadian, which was unbelievable. I've never seen those prices. So if you have a bunch of it, what I do is after I strip a bunch of motors, I put it into bags, bundle it up, and once I have a big bulk pile, I bring it in. And I also, before I continue, want to do a big shout out to the scrapyard, to Russ and Austin, the two gentlemen that helped me unload my 700 pounds of copper that I had stored up. I actually just did a video on selling your copper, so if you're interested, go check that video out. But I do want to say a special thank you to Russ and Austin for helping me unloading that, getting me the best price, and wanted to definitely say a kudos to you guys and the scrapyard. You guys are awesome, so thank you for that. This copper, I could bring it in as is, but again, it is very easy to take apart. I could go from 15 cents a pound to $4.50. So all you have to do with this is you don't even need power tools or any of that. I do want to make sure I wear safety glasses, but all I'm actually going to use is a pair of tin snippers. You could use these. I do have other cutters that I have, but all I'm going to do to get this out is I'm just going to cut the wire just in half, and I can do that all the way down. I don't even have to remove the rest of this plate, which is nice. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to take a couple out. So just take a pair of snippers and just going to cut that. There you go, one, and I'll do a couple for you. There you go, take those out. Make sure, like I said, I always wear safety glasses because I never want to get anything in the eye or chance of that. And you would do that all the way around. As you can see, I have already cut the wire there. All I'm going to do next is I'm going to take just a pair of pliers. Okay, you can use a pair of pliers. And what I also suggest, because this wire is so thin, I also like to put just a piece of cardboard down or some type of mat or something, because you want to get all of it you can. And, you know, it definitely helps with cleanup. So here we go. All I'm going to do is I'm going to grab from the side here. I'll see if I can move this for you so you can see. So I've already cut this one. Just going to take a pair of pliers. And all I'm going to do actually is just feed it through. Okay, I'm just going to feed it. Use leverage, use science. Okay, and just pull it. As you can see, I'm going to start pulling it out here. And unfortunately, this thing is moving on me. Okay, move. I'm going to cut this one too. Because you definitely want to cut the ones beside it. Just so it kind of helps move things around. See if my arm's in the way. Sorry, guys. Move that. So I'm going to take it and just pry it up. There it comes. And if I have it in my vise, it's a little bit easier. But unfortunately, given... There we go. So just move it around like that. There's my leverage. And I'm going to just pop it up. So there is my copper. As you are taking them out, the first one's always the most difficult, but there you go. There's a nice hunk of copper. So I'm going to put that in a pile. As I said, I'm going to store it up on the plate here. Going to go to the next one. The next one should be easy as well. Just grab it, pinch, hold, bend it. There you go. So, and I'm going to work it all the way up that way. Okay, so you want to make sure that all of your coils are broken and cut, but there's some more copper. Okay, and I'm going to do this all the way. It does take a little bit of time, but once you get it started, it's a lot easier. Okay, so as I said, not going to do all of them, but I'm going to show you just the fact how easy it is. Grab that. Okay, and just leverage. Put it in your vise, best thing to do, but it comes out in nice clumps. As you can see, there is a nice pile of number 2 copper. Okay, and the nice thing about this is as well is after I finish removing this, I can throw the rest of this into my steel pile. This weighs about 5 pounds, easily 4 to 5 pounds worth of steel, so that's definitely great. As I said, the only real issue is you will have a little bit of cleanup. Okay, so some little pieces of debris, definitely want to get those. And the nice thing, because it's number 2, it's okay if there's a little bit of, you know, plastic inside of it or a little bit of garbage. You know, the scrappiers are not going to look at those little issues, especially because number 2 pertains to any motor wires and copper piping that has soldering on it or paint or any type of, you know, oils and stuff on them. So that is okay. But again, as I said, a great find, ceiling fans. The only real waste is the propeller things, the blades. I will be honest, when I first started scrapping 4 years ago, I actually turned down a couple fans because I didn't think they had anything in them. Foolish me. Glad I figured that out very quick. Please comment down below. Hope you found that informative. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Tin Man out.